serve the needs of people's communication and government's communication. It can still be such a thing.
Yeah.
Most of the internet nowadays actually is run on what they call copyleft software. Copyleft software. Sendmail, for example, constitutes about 80% of all email. Sendmail, the backbone of the internet, of email, is public domain. Public domain, alterable by anybody. When you use something on Google, what they are doing is the following: addicting you to something, making a service available for free. How nice can you be? Available for free. See you later. Hope you don't get the sack.
I don't work for Google. I got you.
So you lied to them.
He's lying for Google. So, if for example, I give you, let's say you have an illness, and I give you an injection of nano instruments that will cure you of, will clean your arteries to prevent you getting a heart attack, right? And I program that to operate in a certain way. You are dependent upon that nanotechnology to clear your arteries. If I then turn around and say, 6 months later, everything about your body now belongs to me, because we've scanned your body and we found out certain things about your genes, and they're unique like everybody else's genes, and we're going to sell that. It doesn't belong to you, it belongs to me. You signed up for it. You said we can do what we like with the knowledge we acquire, right? You don't have any idea what they might want to do with your knowledge. They might want to create an instrument to kill 1,000 people with your genes. Sorry?
Don't sign up for it.
The truth of the matter is...
You give an example where I'm going to die if I don't take this nanotechnology. It's
ridiculous. My friend, did you sign up for the rules of Hyde Park?
There are no rules in Hyde Park.
You've come into Hyde Park for a long time.
There are no rules in Hyde Park.
What do you mean there are no rules in Hyde Park?
The same legal rules.
No. There's the Parks and Gardens Act 1872. Do you know what it says?
No.
I've learnt it. I've studied it. You know what it says?
No.
So, how many years have you been coming to Hyde Park?
3, 4 years.
You don't know the rules?
No.
You don't know the laws?
I don't.
So, what do you think you're doing here?
Am I breaking any laws?
Well, you might be breaking laws. You don't know, do you?
Am I?
You don't know.
I don't care.
Because you don't care whether the law exists or not.
I don't care about my
Just the same as you couldn't care less when you sign up.
I don't care. So I'm not
until somebody decides, okay, let's find all the Jews and kill them all. And the way to do it is we'll use a database from Google and kill them. For example, in the Ukraine, the fascists have got the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Defence. They have sophisticated instruments and computers, and they have a relationship with Google. If they decide tomorrow, as the main rabbi in Kiev warned, that the Jews must now leave the country, otherwise they'll be chased down and killed like they were in Nazi Germany, then the Ukrainian authorities will pass a law that the fascists have got the Ministry of Interior and they've got the Ministry of Defence. That's what I said, the fascists. Nazis, neo-Nazis.
Which party? Which specific party?
The party called Freedom.
But they're not
this party.
It's a right-wing party, but it's not a Nazi party.
My friend, in case you didn't know,
fascism is in control.
I didn't say fascism is in control of Ukraine. I said if the fascists. I said, again, you have a problem with qualifiers. I don't know why.
You said if.
I said if the gentleman here heard. You didn't hear. Right, did you hear that?
I apologise.
Right, thank you very much. I said if the fascists decide to do X, Y, and Z. For example, as the chief rabbi in Kiev warned that all Jews should leave the Ukraine because the fascists may be on the march to take power, then it may well be the case, because what they say in the Ukraine is that the fascists who are in the government, 4 members of the government, including Ministry of Interior and Ministry of Defence,
nationalists,
they're fascists, my friend.
You probably think
they carry the slogan of the fascists. Their main hero was a Second World War Ukrainian who fought alongside the Nazis. Now, that's what I call fascists. Now, you might not like to call them fascists, good for you, but they are fascists.
Nationalists.
That doesn't mean that, my friend, Adolf Hitler called himself a nationalist, right? Mussolini called himself a nationalist.
Well, they
right?
were fascists.
Now, if you want to call these people nationalists, good for you. But what they want to do is to cleanse Ukraine of anybody who's non-Ukrainian.
Where's the evidence of this? Where's the evidence?
My friend, look on the BBC website today. Look on the BBC website today. The main page of the BBC website, far-right and neo-Nazis, their position in the Ukraine. That's what the article is. Go and read it. Read it now. Yeah, you want to look? You want to look? You want to look? Why, since you left the house, when did you leave?
I will look.
When did you leave?
Every day.
There's no evidence, even in Crimea, that there is any ethnic cleansing.
In the Crimea is a predominant control by the
whole
Russians.
argument about
Now, the argument, however, was as follows. I was arguing with the gentleman here about knowledge of law.
You've left out
Do you know law?
No, you don't need to.
Now, have you any idea? Hang on a minute. Have you any idea? Have you any idea how many laws there are in Britain? Have you any idea?
No.
If you go to the library, Westminster Reference Library, and you look up the law, there are shelves full of the law. Shelves full of the law. Do you know, for example, that by law, everyone in England, every man in England over the age of 21 has to go and shoot a crossbow once a day? That's a law in England.
I highly doubt
Right?
it.
It's a law in England. I think there's a
legacy of hundreds of years ago.
Now,
Like with many laws.
most people ignore that law, right? And the authorities also ignore that law.
wrong. We didn't.
There is a law in England that says you can be hung. You can be hung for treason in Britain. Now, officially, the death penalty is abolished. But on the statute, you can be hung for treason, high treason in Britain, even to this day.
No, Blair abolished it.
In terms of the constitution,
Blair abolished it, I'm wrong.
the legal structure,
Now,
it doesn't allow
you
that.
didn't look. You didn't.
And I think
Now, by the way, one thing.
but
The
you
point
leave
I was
out very
arguing was
important-
the point I was arguing was as follows.
You're not arguing a point. You leave out
We
the very
do not
important
know
point.
the laws that apply in any
What's law got
circumstance.
to do with it?
Because
No.
when you sign a contract
If I
with
would tell
Google, you're signing a legal
Well,
document.
if I would tell you,
That's why.
yeah, but if I would tell you,
My friend, standing here
My friend,
is a
listen,
legal
yeah, but
right.
if I would tell
It's
you-
constituted by laws.
If I
Me
tell-
speaking here is constituted by laws. Him recording me is constituted by
if I
laws.
would tell you, come to my
Right?
restaurant.
You
and
wearing the
give you-
clothes you're
Yeah.
wearing is constituted by laws.
I'd say come to my restaurant and I give you free food every
When?
day.
When?
Every
When are
day,
you gonna do that?
Free food.
When?
But sign. 1 minute.
One meal is enough.
But
I'm
sign
gonna
a
give it to you.
document. But sign a document after every time. A 10,000-page document every single time. You come to my restaurant, have free. Wouldn't you suspect that maybe I'm getting something out of this deal as well? I think that's basic common sense.
You might suspect
when
that.
Gmail
You
comes
might
to
suspect that.
when Google comes, say, look, we're going to give you a search engine, email, to Google Maps, and all their services free. But you need to sign the terms, accept terms and conditions.
No.
Then probably they're getting something out as well. Don't turn around later and say you
I'm
forced
not
them,
disputing
or you're
that.
stealing.
I'm
They're
not
not
disputing
stealing.
it. But people do not
They're
know
not
what those
stealing.
terms and conditions mean. That's what it matters. That's what it matters. Like Speaker's
Well,
Corner.
they'll learn the hard way,
People
won't
come
they?
to Speaker's Corner and they think free speech. Right? You've got the right to free speech. That's what they think.
Well, they say free speech in the country.
Actually, there is little free speech here.
Well, even the
Because as you've
Wikipedia article tells you that.
seen during the course of the afternoon, during the period in which someone wishes to speak, you're constantly not interrupted by people like yourself, but there are regular maniacs who come up and scream and shout at you. Now that, by definition, is the hindrance of free speech.
It's their
right?
free speech.
It's not their free speech, it's the hindrance of someone else's free speech. That's what the Nazis did. The Nazis didn't stop you from speaking.
Well, they did.
They basically came to a meeting and shouted you down.
They did.
And when they shouted you down, first they shouted you down, then they
Then
beat you
shot
up.
you down.
Then they
So,
beat you up.
big difference.
Now, right. So first they used semi-legal mechanisms, then they used physical force. Now Google offers itself as a lovely service for everybody. Then it turns out they're working in conjunction with the National Security Agency to monitor everyone's email and everyone's communication in the entire world. And they're collecting everything about everybody, and they can implicate you at any time in any conspiracy they like.
They
They might not have been
Because,
cooperating.
sorry?
They might not have been cooperating, Google, with the NSA.
Well,
No, they
the
can't.
truth of the matter is,
And
everything indicates they were cooperating. And everything indicates they are continuing to cooperate.
all what you're
right?
saying is
They haven't
public
turned around and
knowledge.
said, we will seal off everything against the NSA, because otherwise Google suddenly will be closed down.
But everything
Right?
you're saying now has been
They can
public
try,
knowledge for
but
years.
They also have tools to hack Google's information, and they do claim they
Yes,
did not.
but they gave them access. Everything indicates, Snowden's information indicates as well, that Google and Yahoo gave them access. Right? They pretended, basically what they had a meeting together with the NSA, and then they said, look, you can get that information, but here's the way to do it. So for example, GCHQ, basically Google will have told them, well, where's the vulnerability? Where are we not legally liable? So they said, okay, we're not legally liable under the C. tap into the cable and you collect everyone's information in the world. Then you can do that and collect everything about Google without us officially